Okay, Liam, you've taken part in a great deal of project-based learning, and as part of that, you've had to do a lot of independent learning as well. So, could you just tell me a little bit about your experience of that and how you found it?
Well, like during the electrical assessments, we weren't told what things we had to get and how we were meant to make it, so we had to fill in the requisition sheets to show what we had to use and what we had to put it use them for, and we had to get them ourselves, and then put the circuit all together and that,
Uh-huh.
and then once you tested it, if there was no problems with it, then you done it fine. But if there was a problem, then you just had to work through it to see what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it all didn't work once, then you check the fuse and that, and if it's
Okay, and Dom, you've been involved in project-based learning for quite some time now, and you've done a lot of independent learning within that. So, could you tell me a little bit about your experience of all that?
I've learnt new skills like plumbing and electrician.
Mm-hmm.
Down the house when I fitted the kitchen with Johnny, like the kitchen sink.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to do that kind of stuff.
How do you feel about having to, if you like, try a lot of that yourself without the guidance on hand?
I think I'd probably be able to do it.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about what you've done so far in terms of when
I'm
you've...
happy with what I've done. I've
Uh-huh.
made good progress and got plenty of it done.
Okay. Do you think it's been helpful for you in terms of your skills?
Yeah.
Could you give me an example of how it's been helpful for you?
When I was putting the lights in the house, like when me and Joe were doing that,
Uh-huh.
we were successful.
So can you... Is that the solar electrical system?
No, the lights inside.
All right,
in
okay,
the
okay.
left-hand side bedroom.
Uh-huh. And did they work okay?
Yeah, they worked fine.
Okay. And how do you feel about that in terms of what you achieved?
Quite happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be able to wire up a light successfully with it working.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks very much. Right, Sean, you've obviously worked on project-based learning for quite some time now, and you've done a lot of independent learning within that. Could you tell us just a little bit about your experience of it?
Well, we've been doing lots of assessments on like electrical by ourselves, and we've done 16 assessments, I think it is now, all by ourselves, and I've passed them all,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had no help of teachers or
Mhm.
anything. I've just got a piece of paper in front of us telling us where to go, and then we get on with it.
Mm-hmm. And how do you find that?
Find it good because it gives us an opportunity to do it all by ourselves, and like we learn from our mistakes. Like if we do it wrong, and then we can do it again and again.
Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming at some point you probably have made a mistake, yeah?
Yeah.
So if something goes wrong with one of your electrical circuits, what do you do? If you're not actually taught how to repair something, what do you actually
Well, you
do?
just go through like all the sockets and fuses and stuff like that, and check if there's like wires missing, or like wires have came out, or if there's snap wires. So you just check all them, and then
Mm-hmm.
you repair them if it's
Okay.
snapped or anything.
And can you do that quite adequately now, can you?
Yeah, I can.
Excellent. Okay. Do you think learning like this, where you haven't got a teacher taking the lead, whereas they give you the basics and then you have to make what you can of that, do you think that's helped you at all?
It's helped us a lot. It's got like made us have loads of confidence in that and what I'm doing. Like do everything like really good now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel dead confident about everything I do.
Mm-hmm. When you come across mistakes or when you make errors, are you put off by that anymore?
No, because I know I can do it. Just keep trying.
Right, thanks very much, Sean.
Cheers.
Right, and Johnny, you've taken part in a lot of project-based learning over the last year, and obviously you've had to do a lot of independent work as a part of that. So would you like to tell us something about your experience of that?
I've found the course this year has been very useful and helpful. There was, because when I first started the course, I knew basic knowledge of like plumbing and electrical, but I've like extended my knowledge of it a lot more, and I can now fit switches and lights when I couldn't have beforehand, and I feel like a lot more confident while I'm doing tasks.
Okay. Now, obviously, you've done a lot of practical construction work. what do you do when you come across a problem, or perhaps when something doesn't turn out right first time round?
Well, when I've been, especially with my electrical work, I had quite a few faults there. When I was fitting 2 lights with 2 switches with the junction box, I found that one of the lights worked and one light didn't. So I had to isolate the problem by starting from the junction box, seeing if there was anything wrong with that, then moving further along the circuit to see if I could find the problem.
If I asked you to generally describe how you feel you've changed your skill level, what would you say?
I would say I've improved my skill a very high amount since I've started this course, because I've been doing a wide varying amount of tasks, doing different things, and I've just been able to do a lot more things now that I couldn't do when I first started.
Would you say learning like this has given you the opportunity to sort of stretch yourself a bit more, and has it given you extra responsibilities?
Well, I find that doing this working this way is a lot better, because it's more practical work, more hands-on. I learn better when I'm doing, rather than just listening and writing stuff down.
Okay, thanks very much, John. Let's get that set up then. Right, okay, talk to me now, right? Could you tell me something about your experience of independent learning? Because you've now taken part in this course for quite a few months, and I'd like to hear your opinion on what you feel you've got out of it.
Basically, I think working independently is something that I've been doing pretty well at. Obviously, we've been doing the plumber assessments and the electrical assessments, and obviously they're done by independent, and I think I've been doing very well with them. They are quite challenging, but it's something that through time you will get through, and I feel that I've been doing well working independently.
Good. Can I just ask when something goes wrong, because obviously if you're taking the lead, then a member of staff's not there to say this is how it's done. When something goes wrong, what do you typically do about it?
If in like the circumstances of it being like an electrical fault, for example, obviously you diagnose a problem and like obviously you rewire the circuit to make sure everything's going well. If that fails, then you just keep doing it, and every time you will get it, like eventually you will get it right.
So you're trying to do it by process of elimination?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And,
do you find that works?
yeah, I find that's probably the best way you can do it. If not, then yeah, pretty much.
How would you rate your problem solving skills as a result of that then? Because obviously if you're saying you're trying to diagnose faults.
Not really to a high standard, but
Why would you say that?
I'd say it's more in the, like, when I'm obviously doing the wider case skills part, obviously you've got to write down about your findings and everything like that, and for some reason I don't feel as if I'm focusing as much on it as what I'm doing more practical.
Right. Interesting. Would you say therefore that when you've actually got the opportunity to take the lead, you actually make better progress?
Yeah, that's probably, yeah, I'd say that.
And do you think the hands-on experience is key to that?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, thanks very much.